So the thing about being a smaller guard is that you have to be, sorry for the door by the way, but you have to be insanely skilled. You have to be very skilled at everything, right? There is no smaller guard that you can think of at any level, any high level at least, that is not incredibly skilled around the rim, shooting the ball, handling the ball, reading different situations, picking up full court. So on a daily basis, you have no time to kill. You cannot be training inefficiently as a small guard. It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't work like that. So what I'm gonna give you guys today is not a workout, okay? This will be different for every single one of you guys. Your style of play, your rate limiters and superpowers, we call them, different situations that you'll be in, but the template will be the same. Now, this is important because, and trust me, I got shorts under this. Again, you have to find ways to still focus and challenge very specific areas of your game, but also while training pretty much every area of your game on a daily basis. So again, hopefully this will give you guys a little bit of an idea of how to structure your workouts as a smaller guard. It's not everything. I would strongly suggest, if you are a smaller guard, checking out our virtual academy with our small guard essentials and our ultimate development program. That'll give you the entire roadmap, but I think this would be a really good start for you to understand how to train a little bit differently, how to train with a little bit more creativity and challenge involved. And I hope you guys enjoy, and hopefully it changes your perspective a bit on how to train. All right, this will go against everything that you've ever learned in terms of your shooting work, but how I would actually suggest that you start at least some of your sessions is not down here with form shooting, but back here, at least somewhere from a representative range, with the shot that you'll be shooting in a game while you are cold, right? If you've ever come off the bench, which I'm sure 99.9% of you guys have, you know how difficult it is when you haven't gotten up your 100 form shots, where you have a ton of psychological momentum, you're feeling good, you're feeling in rhythm, to come in a game and knock down your first shot. So what I will typically start with, especially for bench players, but everyone's gonna have the opportunity at some point to come off the bench or have to come off the bench, is 5 to 10 shots from outside of the three-point line. They don't have to be super high speed, but you're gonna see how many you can make out of 10 before you move on to actually warming up. So it'll look like this. Get in there. 4 for 10. So that's a good way to get the workout started. Again, it's not gonna be a major time eater. More so just a way to acclimate yourself to being able to shoot when you're a little bit cold, when you're a little bit out of rhythm, when you don't have psychological momentum. Now, we're gonna get into some ball handling stuff as a warm-up, but I want this to be challenging. Again, if you're a small guard and your handles are already good enough to the point where you're not just losing the ball doing simple drills like this, I want to find more challenge. I want to find more creativity. I want to open up more options. So I'm not going to sit here and warm up doing something that doesn't really challenge me. I'm going to move. I'm going to be dynamic. I'm really going to challenge the control of the ball, and we're going to be efficient here. So again, this could be hundreds of different drills or exercises or ideas that you could run with here. The majority of this for me is going to be a freestyle. Okay, so I'm going to add in different constraints or rules, themes to these freestyles. We're going to go for about 5 or 10 minutes here, and then move on to the next piece. So it'll look like this, starting with a skip freestyle. Next, we'll go with a wide dribble freestyle. Next one, in stride freestyle. As you can see, this isn't just about conditioning. Of course, there are times to operate at a very fatigued state, but for me, it's more so about being crisp, really refining the control of the ball. So I am taking a few seconds, not just because I'm out of shape, but a few seconds in between these drills. Next one, I'm setting up everything with a lateral shuffle, but it's gotta be a different option every time, okay? So instead of just going here and then crossing over, and then here and crossing over and doing something that my body is used to doing, and I'm just kind of reciting it I'm trying to switch it up a little bit every time, get creative, see how many different ways I can work off of this little shuffle, maybe in some ways that I've never even tried before. Next one here, I'm working off a retreat. So every single time I'm looking to take a retreat dribble here and then explode forward off of that in a different way every time. Now I'm looking to really manipulate the timing. That's gonna be the big theme here. So sometimes I'll retreat, I'll wait, and then go a little bit late. Other times I retreat, I go early, but I'm really looking to get creative with that timing as well as getting into different movement patterns. Now, just because I feel like it and because I feel like it's an extra challenge that I struggle with a little bit, all of this has to be a misdirection. So as I retreat here, I have to get into some sort of misdirection to get out of there, really open up some new options here. Now here, after a few minutes of that, is where I want you to get a bit more targeted. So try to find something that you're really struggling with. This could be footwork, right? So I have a lot of players who really struggle to get into nice shin angles here, especially with the first 3 steps. So we have a ton of stuff on that, on the channel, in the virtual academy, on Instagram. You know, you can find that stuff anywhere. We posted a ton about it. This can be advanced ball control, right? So being able to, again, not just pound the ball on the ground, but manipulate the ball here. Notice how my hand is moving in different directions so I can really protect it, push out of there. So different drills around more advanced ball control. And third, this could be going with what we just did, which is choosing a specific movement option, setup move, even counter move that you want to get into, and trying to do it in a different way every time to get as creative as you can with it, okay? So I'm not looking to do it the same way every time. It's not how humans learn. If you watch a lot of my stuff, you know that, but I'm trying to open up different creative options with it. So real quick, I'll show you a couple advanced ball control drills that you can do here, and then we'll move on to the next thing. First one here, I'm trying to get the ball as far in front as I can. So really reaching out, and then with one dribble, get it as back or as far back as I can, and then getting off of that into the next one, cuffing it back as far back as I can, and then switching hands to get it into the next dribble. Next one here, I'm going to light freestyle to half court. With every dribble, my hand is coming off the ball, and then I'm regaining control of the ball, which is, again, just an extra way to challenge that advanced level of ball control. Then lastly here, I'm exaggerating the edges of wide ball control and super tight, close to the ground ball control. So I'm going 2 dribbles with a really wide, like we did at the beginning, and then 2 dribbles where I'm going super low, almost tap dribbles. Lastly here, try to end with something creative. We will typically go just a full out freestyle. So you can do anything you want to, no constraints, no rules or themes on it. Full court and back, maybe a couple times. You could also visualize here. So imagining like you catch the ball, you're playing against a man press, and you have to beat this defender however you like to, get into a layup. I'm gonna put this on you guys to really be creative, come up with different ways to express that creativity. So after that, you should be feeling pretty primed up, ready to go, you're warm. So now I'm gonna bring it back to something somewhat similar to what we did at the beginning with kind of just the goal-oriented shots. But now I want these to be shorter drills. So you're only shooting 5 shots here. Each 5 shots is a different theme with a different goal, okay? So you're gonna set a goal, 2, 3, maybe 4 out of 5 is the goal that you have to hit to move on to the next shooting drill, the next 5, right? Now, the reason why I say maybe 4 is because if you're constantly making 80% in your workouts, you may look at that and be like, oh, that's great. You know, I'm getting better. I'm shooting very high or at a very high clip in my workouts. In reality, that challenge level is not enough to see improvement. So while you may think it's a great sign that you're shooting 80%, 4 out of 5 in your workouts, it's actually a bad sign. You're probably not challenging yourself enough. So I want you to shoot shots at a speed, at a level of complexity that challenge you. And if you guys are good shooters, that may take shooting some pretty difficult shots. If you guys aren't great shooters, that may be just shooting a standstill 3 here or even a mid-range shot if you're not at that level yet, okay? So for example here, my first 5 are gonna be off of a flare screen. So in other words, someone sent me a screen here, coming off, catching it over the shoulder, knocking it down. I'm gonna try to go 3 out of 5 here. I wanna switch up spots every single time to make sure I'm getting new looks. Yes, 3 for 5. So now we're getting some pressure shots. I'm also getting my own rebound. To me, getting your own rebound in workouts is one of the biggest keys to becoming a better shooter. 1, you add pressure on yourself. If you miss, you gotta run across the gym. Nobody likes to do that. If you're on a shooting gun, you miss, well, you move straight on to the next one. 2, you're constantly getting new looks, right? If I get my own board and I run out here, now I gotta get into a different footwork, so I'm implementing just naturally some variability into the workout. And 3, as you can see, get a little bit more fatigued. You're shooting not only dynamically, but also with some added conditioning into it. You're learning under the conditions that you'll be playing in, which is huge. So I'll show you guys one more here. Often I would suggest doing maybe 3 or 4 sets of this, 3 or 4 different types of shots. Next one I'll say is coming off a drag screen, right? Something that guards these days are coming off a lot of. So I'll start back here. I imagine like I have a big trailing, sets a screen in transition, and I'm coming off here into a different option every time. So sometimes I'm going left, right, hop, I can hezzy out of that and get back to a 3. I'm trying to switch this up a little bit to, again, expose my system to different types of shots here and make sure I'm getting well-rounded looks here, not just shooting the same one every time. Short, come on. Goal here is 3 out of 5, I forgot. Come on. 1, 3, 2 in a row. Get in there. No! I'd run it back. We got a lot to film, so I'm not gonna run it back, but I expect you to. So now I'd say you're about 20 minutes into the workout. The cold shooting and the ball handling warm up usually take around 10, give or take. You get into the shooting portion with the goal-oriented shots. Takes another 10, so you're about 20 in right now. What I like to do is transition to a bit of finishing. I personally believe after training hundreds, maybe probably thousands of players at this point consistently, most of finishing is developed in the context of live play. Playing one-on-one with your friends, doing small-sided games, finishing through contact and pickup. That does not mean we cannot train certain qualities of it, but I see a lot of players who spend hours and hours working on their finishing, then they get into a game, they don't know how to just figure it out, react, respond to contact, and adapt around the rim, okay? So what I want you to do is choose 1 or 2 concepts around the rim. Again, this is something we have a ton of resources for. If you can't find my finishing resources, probably haven't dug deep enough on the page. Virtual Academy, once again, gives you more than enough. Choose 2 different concepts. Let's say on this one for me, it's gonna be jumping laterally. So I'm really challenging myself to jump from one side of the rim to the other. Okay, I'll start with that one. And then the second one is gonna be exaggerated touch. So let's say exaggerated arc on these touch shots. So let's say I really struggle with getting down here to the rim, floating it over the outstretched arm of a big and finishing from there. Spend about 3 to 5 minutes on each of these with these next 2 drills and then we'll move on. Ooh. It's too easy. So if a drill is too easy for you, very big key here. If you do not know how to add challenge, add difficulty to your workouts as a player, you're never gonna get better. This is one of the biggest skills that you can have as an athlete. For me, I probably jumped from somewhere inside of the block here ended up getting to the other side. So now my mind, now that I converted that pretty easily, needs to go to, what can I add? Can I jump from further here? Okay, now I'm gonna try to jump from outside of the paint as a constraint or a rule to get to the other side. Maybe I need to go with the inside hand. Maybe I gotta keep the ball up, right? Keep it up here because dropping it down here allows me to get more power, makes it easier. So I'm gonna try to jump from outside of the paint and get to the inside hand on this one. See how it goes. Ooh. Oh yeah, there we go. That's what I want to see. If I make it the first time, I feel really good. That is not what I'm looking for. Ooh. Yes. So I'd get a good bit of problem solving in there. I'd probably go a couple minutes on that one until I feel like I've picked it up, gotten it down. I personally am not a big rep counter. I think it's more so based on the amount of difficulty, what you're doing, the efficiency, and ensuring that those reps are quality, right? So I could go for 20 reps there and make it super easy. I just check the reps off, I get to 20, boom, I move on. Or I can go until I feel like I've conquered that challenge, and then I can move on to the next thing, and that is way more productive, okay? So again, let's say I conquer that one, I'll move on to the next one. All right, well, inside hand's my right hand. I feel pretty strong with this. What's a way that I can add some difficulty to this? Okay, what I'm gonna try to do is now keep it above the shoulders, really extend out, and again, jump from outside of the paint. Oh! Not easy. I'm also an unathletic white guy. Oh, yes. Next one, like I mentioned, is gonna be exaggerating the arc on the shot, okay? For this one, I'm gonna go with a bit more of a reps focus. But again, I want these reps to be challenging. I don't wanna just do them just to do them where I'm going, boom, make a layup, take a dribble out, boom, make a layup, and I'm really feeling good about myself. No, I want these to be challenging and provide adequate difficulty. So I'm just gonna take one dribble here. I don't need a full approach, but on all of these, I'm gonna switch up the release angle. Sometimes underhand, sometimes overhand, sometimes to the side, sometimes across the body. Switching it up each time. All of these have to get above the level of the top of the backboard and go in. On this one, when it's a little bit more volume or reps focused, let's say I'm going for 10, but I should not be making, 10 out of 15 here. It should definitely be a little bit more challenging. In there. Come on. Now, moving on to what I would consider the real bulk, the most important part of the workout, which is visualization and areas of the game that you need to work on. So for example, let's say for me, I'm a heavy ball screen player, but I'm sucking right now with coming off of ball screens into heavy pressure, right? So when I come off, whether it's a pickup game, whatever, I'm noticing that when somebody really sprints out aggressively and traps, blitzes, hard hedges, whatever the case may be, I struggle and I can't really get into different scoring options. Okay, cool. Now, keep in mind that this is never gonna be representative of the game. You doing this every single day will never actually get you better in a game. I'd go far as to say that. However, what it will do is start to prime your mind, start to build some of the skills. If you know how to find challenge here, if you switch it up, if you allow yourself to really put yourself in a game situation, it will start to build some of these qualities. However, you still need to play. You still need to go and do 3v3 small-sided games with your friends. You still need to go and play one-on-one and build these necessary skills, okay? But that's besides the point. Here, I'm gonna come off this ball screen, different angles here, so sometimes I'm coming downhill, sometimes I can set it up and go more of like a traditional sideline ball screen. Every time here, I'm gonna imagine like I'm getting trap, blitz, hard hedge, and I'm gonna find a different solution. Really visualize the defense here and try to make it feel like there's the imperfection of the game involved. I call it forced imperfection. You see guys like Kyrie Irving, other players, when they're warming up or when they're working out, they're constantly looking around, switching up the speeds, maybe even losing the ball a little bit, shooting where they're drifting because they know how it feels to be a little bit imperfect in a game, and that's exactly what we're looking for here. Oh, oh. Get in there. So here you can go for time. I want these to be faster paced. I want there to be a little bit more conditioning or fatigue involved, but I want you to maintain the level of intent. Now, this doesn't mean that you're going full speed the whole time. I see a lot of players who are full speed. Game speed does not equal full speed. Game speed equals a speed that involves intent. You can still slow down when you would in a game. So if I come off here, I can still get to a slower speed, but when I do speed up, I'm going at a speed or an intensity level that matches that of the game, okay? So after a few minutes here, you could switch it up, go a different situation. This could also be like a closeout. I'm not gonna do it, but let's say you attack a lot of closeouts. I could imagine different closeout options here, trying to imagine the defense getting into some of my sweet spots. You can do this for literally anything, transition, attacking from the corner, coming off of a zoom action or a pin down, whatever. But I want you to really focus in for 10 to 15 minutes here on the situation or situations that you're gonna see in a game and that you really wanna build on, okay? Then to finish it out, that'll take you to probably 45, 50 minutes, maybe even a little bit earlier. But we're gonna focus on shooting qualities and then just shooting volume, okay? Shooting qualities is gonna be challenging areas of your shooting that, again, you need to work on. So similar to finishing and ball handling, this is for you to personalize. I can't tell you, considering that every single one of you guys is different, exactly what to work on. This can be balance. This can be your pickups, right? So being able to cleanly pick up the ball off the dribble. This can be fluidity, but I would encourage you guys to really focus on, again, specific qualities of your shots for maybe 2 or 3 drills here. That should take you 5, 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be crazy reps. Again, got a ton of content on that and in the Ultimate Development Program. Lastly, you're going shooting reps. Staple drills here are similar to what we did earlier, goal-based shooting. So I could say, I gotta make 7 out of 10, all right, whatever the case may be. If you have both sides, one of my favorites is transition shooting. So you can throw the ball out, you're getting into a shot here, then maybe you dribble down into it and knock down a shot here. This could be even like a star drill, the most simple one, where or one of the most simple ones. You're going corner shot, corner shot. But the key to this, because it doesn't really matter how you rotate through these shots, the key to this is that there's enough difficulty. So again, if you're making 8 out of 10 in these, it's probably not difficult enough to actually learn and get better and improve. And also the fact that you're shooting shots that are valuable to you, right? So if you're a very heavy off the dribble shooter, then maybe you do your star drill where corner threes, you can shoot spot ups, right? But when you're up at the top of the key and the wing, instead of shooting a spot up, because that's what everyone has told you to do in a star drill, maybe you still shoot a ball screen shot from the wing, from that wing, from the top of the key, and then you shoot your corner threes here. So long story short, you should be thinking about these things. Even in our programs in the Virtual Academy, we constantly encourage you guys to switch it up based on your game, because we can only tell you so much about your game. So no matter how you shoot here, I'll show you guys a quick star drill just to go through it. But I want you guys to accumulate as many reps as you possibly can in 10 to 30 minutes, right? If you finish that workout, the bulk of it, 45 minutes, and you're like, yo, I'm still good, get a ton of quality shooting volume up. If you're done for that day, if you feel pretty good, okay, 10 minutes, you're out, and then you can get out of here. I need that. Oh my goodness. Once you're done with that, it's up to you. Free throws, meditation, finish with some feel-good work, right? A lot of our players, a lot of our workouts will end with just simple shots where you are making 8 out of 10 so that you're feeling pretty good. You can shoot as many free throws as you would like, as I missed one. Whatever makes you feel good leaving the gym, because hopefully there's a lot of challenge involved. Hopefully you feel like there is enough difficulty involved. And we want you most times to leave the gym knowing that you frustrated yourself, you challenged yourself, but at the end of the day, that you're still feeling good about yourself as a basketball player. Check out the Virtual Academy for more.